Plaintiff Christy Arwine says the defendant is her cousin, and when they turned 18, they decided to rent an apartment together. Christy claims after they moved in, the defendant and her mother, who's with the defendant in court today, turned their home into a crack house. Christy's suing her cousin for damages to their apartment. Defendant Laura Rubel denies that she smoked crack in the apartment and says Christy is the one who smokes marijuana. And Christy's mother, who's with Christy in court today, sells it. Laura insists there were no damages when she moved out of the apartment, so she refuses to pay Christy.
Tell me what happened.
Our birthday is a month and 27 days apart. So when we both turned 18, we decided to get an apartment together. And when we got an apartment, I told her at the beginning, because I know she does have some use of drugs and alcohol in her past, which I'll admit I do too. But I told her from the beginning I didn't want it in the apartment. Within a week and a half.
Were you all drug addicts when you say you've had some in your past?
I will admit I do smoke marijuana every now and then, but that's what I've did.
All right.
Your Honor, and her mom sells it.
These two turned my house into a crack house.
Them smoking crack?
Them, their family members, friends, underage children, everything.
Crack?
You're under oath, Christy.
Well, you smoke crack?
No.
Were you a crackhead?
No.
Never been a crackhead?
No.
All right.
And her mom sells marijuana.
All right.
No, I don't, but that's not what we're here for.
Okay. You decided to move in with a known crackhead, and what else?
Well, I figured that since she was my cousin, I could give her a chance and we could have a place together.
You've never met a crackhead before?
I have, but
do you know of any crackheads that are financially responsible?
No.
But yet you thought this crackhead would be.
But yet I didn't think that she was that bad.
Pardon?
I didn't think she was that bad.
Oh, okay. I thought she was a little bit of crackhead. Or crackish. I'm trying to understand your logic because you're suing her today for money, but you said you knew when you all moved in together that she was a crackhead. That's why I asked, had you known a crackhead before?
No, when we moved in together, I knew that she did have problems with alcohol.
Oh, you didn't know she was a crackhead until you all moved in together?
When we moved in together after like a week and a half or 2 weeks.
You saw her?
These two both started smoking crack in the apartment.
Okay.
And they would have friends. No. And I asked them to stop. I asked them on several occasions to leave. The cops had even been called several times. And when the cops came, they said I couldn't do anything about it because her name was on the lease too. So I couldn't make them leave.
None of that happened?
No, she has never called the cops due to the crackheads.
Has she ever asked you to stop smoking crack in the house?
No.
All right. Go ahead.
Well, one of her immediate family members needed help, so we were letting him stay with us, and they had children. And I got food stamps at the time, and the food that I would buy, I'm not going to tell a child no, but yet they were taking, even if it was the last bit of food that we had in the house, they didn't care. They'd take it and they'd eat it before even offering it to the children.
Were they on crack too?
Mainly pills more than crack.
So what are you suggesting, that her whole family are dope fiends?
Most of them.
Your Honor, I was on the food stamps with her. They said she did not know that I was at the time, but when I recently just went and applied, I was sanctioned due to being on her food stamps.
How old are you all?
I'm 20.
20.
Pretty young for food stamps. Do you have children?
I have one child.
How about you?
I'm pregnant.
How old is your child?
2 months.
How long have you been on food stamps?
Since I was 8 months pregnant.
Did you work before that?
Yes.
Okay. Why'd you have a child if you weren't going to be able to support the child without state help?
Yes, I'm still working at the same place. I go back.
So why do you need us to pay for your child and you? That's not fair to us.
And it's temporary.
That's not fair to taxpayers.
I understand.
For you to have children that you can't take care of and hand us the bill?
And it's temporary, so.
All right, well, I don't want to pay temporarily.
Neither do I.
I don't want to pay for your kid. I don't know you or your kid.
Right.
All right, well, please don't have children in the future that you're unprepared to take care of. Is the father paying child support?
Yes.
Well, then you shouldn't need food stamps. Something's wrong with that picture. How about you? What's your deal? Why do you need food stamps?
I'm not on food stamps right now, Your Honor, but I do get disability because I have ADHD.
All right, good enough. Now let's get to how she owes you. You all were living together.
Yeah.
And what was that like other than you had to sit up and watch them smoke crack while you smoke weed on the other couch? Did you all ever get it mixed up? No. This weed sort of tastes different. Wow. So you never got it mixed up. You all lived together. Were there any other problems?
In March and April of 2008, I was not able to live in my apartment because it got to the point to where I couldn't stand to be around it. I went and stayed with my sister for 2 months, and the 2 months that I was gone, she wasn't even staying in the apartment. She subleased our apartment to somebody who wasn't even supposed to be on the property.
Ma'am?
I moved out, but I never moved anyone else in.
Okay. And describe what you're suing her for specifically.
The damages done to the apartment, which I have.
How much were you charged for the damage? Did you all both
right here.
sign the lease?
Yes, I actually have a copy of the lease too.
Okay, and the landlord assessed the damages?
Yes. And I have the receipt from
You're
where I paid
dividing it? All right. Ma'am, what do you say to the damages?
I do not remember. I was the only one who kept the house clean.
Now, I know you wouldn't remember. You house crack.
Yeah, correct. And we both partied together a lot. She got caught stealing 5 bottles of alcohol from Kroger's.
She got caught stealing 5 bottles.
Yes, sir.
And I did my time for it.
And yeah, she did her jail time for it.
How long did you serve?
I did a night in jail, and then they
probation or something, ma'am?
I had to do 5 AA classes, and then I had to do another class on stealing and why it's not good.
You had to have a class on why you don't steal? That was a quick class, I'm sure.
No, you had to read books.
Let me
and
tell you why you don't steal, because you'll go to jail. All right. That's today's lesson. Yeah.
Test tomorrow.
Test tomorrow, right? All right, I got your point, ma'am. Now.
Okay, and
what
about
else?
the damages. I know when I was not staying there, I have a paper stating that I was off the lease for 5 months.
Let's see, please.
2 months prior, I had moved out, like
How
she
long
said.
did you stay there?
I'd say about 4 to 5 months. And the damages, sir. When I was not staying there 2 months prior to being taken off the lease, I would walk by, and there was neighborhood kids climbing out the bedroom window onto the roof. So pretty much, I think the damage came from probably the little kids that she had in there, because there was no damages when I left. I'm the only one that kept the house clean.
Was it damaged when she left?
Yes, it was. And
let me just tell you, ma'am, there's a presumption when you are a co-lessor that you are equally responsible for damages. And unless you are able to overcome that presumption, and that is by proving through evidence or convincing me through your testimony, then you are equally liable. And for you to tell me because there were kids coming in and out of the house is not enough to convince me that you did absolutely nothing, particularly as you refer to, we were partying together.
Correct.
Remember you said that?
Yes.
All right. So those damages came
And I
together.
also don't remember a lot of times.
I know you
'cause we
don't
were
remember,
drunk.
man. You party too much. Judgment for the plaintiff,
Yes.
$1,272. You're equally liable, and you haven't proven to me that she's singularly responsible for those damages. So we're going to split them 50-50. Judgment for the plaintiff.
That's my sister, and I love her, but she's greedy, and it's all about the money.
They made the bill together. They share the bill together.
I just don't think that Christy would be here if her mom wouldn't push it. But that's what, she does best.
I just don't think Laura would have paid had we not came.
Christy's my cousin. I'm glad she's pregnant, and I'm glad she won.
she's my cousin. I'm happy for her that she had a kid, and I'm glad that she's moving on with her life.
I love you.